What's up? I'm Nadu. What's up? I'm Nadu. I'm 19 and I learned how to read. Now for real, what's good everybody? This is my first video. I am Nadu. We're gonna do my mid-year albums, the top rated albums, because there's been some pretty good projects coming out this year.
Muy bien. Muy bien.
You know, 80-20-20, there's been a lot of mess going on, but some good albums. So I'm gonna do around 10 albums, okay? And I will say these are in no particular order, but these first 3 are pretty top tier.
Talking top tier, they made the car.
So we're gonna rate them in the top 3. But the rest, they did what they needed to do, so we're just gonna do that. Alright, number 1 is Sauermeier by Irina Sauermeier, possibly the album of the year so far. For me. I will say I have some notes on this, so I'm gonna go into my little description. It's a bubbly, fresh memory of a time not so long ago, so like the 2000s, while managing to push forward an ironclad edge of innovation. And like, you can't deny that that's what that record did. The way she messed with genres, she's basically the new pop princess of the 2020s, while still throwing it back to the 2000s, you know, like she's like Britney Spears with tracks like Shut Up, which, you know, if there's any Screamo fans out there, I'm not a Screamo fan myself, but when she did it, it was something. It was the way she really expressed herself as a Japanese British woman through that, and all the like microaggressions and all that come with that. So I thought it's very, very niche and very interesting to talk about, while still managing to be relatable in songs like Bad Friend and, you know, Tokyo Love Hotel. One thing I will say I'm mad about is she did not release Tokyo Takeover anywhere else but Japan. So I'm like, yo, that song slaps, you know, we need to shift it into the streaming services over here. Everything else just on point. Excess, possibly the song of the year for me. Who's Gonna Save You Now, also my top song of that project. So Sauermeier gets like 100 stars out of 10 for me. Alright, numero dos is, it's by my wife's, you know, like in my head, we're entangled.
In my head.
Chloe and Halle's Ungodly Hour, like just a solid record. What can I say? I've got notes on this one too, so we're gonna go into that way. For me, Chloe and Halle are the new standard. I feel like everyone else should watch out for them because they can do it all and no one's seeing them, you know. They produce their own album, they came up with the concepts, they came up with the outfits. That damn tennis court. Can we talk about the tennis court? Where they shot the videos, did the live performances. Like, how are you gonna make tennis court a whole damn production studio, you know? Like, you have to give it up there. And just seeing this era where obviously Halle's being like the first black Ariel and Chloe's going into her own ventures, producing, and I think it was Disclosure on the album who produced Ungodly Hour, the title track. Busy Boy, banger, just the whole track list, you can go through the whole thing, it's amazing. Also, before I continue, I know we're only 2 albums in, but this is a mess. This I know, this we all know.
This I know, this we all know.
I have not shaved, so yeah. More stress is Having to Retort Your Mind by Eve Streamer. I had to flex the vinyl. I don't know if the light was bouncing off or if you could see it, if it was in focus or what, if I'm in focus now. But the point is, it's a great album, still in my top 3. It's just a psychedelic trip of amazingness, and it just smells like the album smells of like berry perfume mixed with mushrooms. It's just like the perfect combination, and I would say instrumentally this is the best album, hands down. The production, A1. I mean, even just the bass on Gospel for a New Century is just I would say this album came at the right time, because it's almost like an escape album. Not Escape, the group from the 90s. I mean, like, it helps you escape. You're just in this ethereal plane, and it just takes you there, you know. Not to sound like hippy dippy, but you know what I'm saying. It does it. Kerosene is very nostalgic as a track. I would say Strawberry Privilege and what else? Romanticist are my top 2. So yeah, that's Heaven to a Tortured Mind. Number 4 is The Album by Turner Taylor. It's just every right to call it The Album because it was the album. One of the best R&B albums of the year for me personally. I'm an R&B head, you'll come to know this. You'll also come to find out that I am not a big fan of long albums. So there's a few tracks I would have cut out, but at the same time, it never lost its flow, it never lost its momentum. So that's why it's such a great album to me. Even the homages to earlier 90s, she has Diddy's son on it in How Do You Want It, and also the homage to Black in Boomin'. Also, can we talk about Low-Key? Because Low-Key, I was not expecting Erykah Badu to be on that, and she slid. So we had to give up for the album. Just a smooth, so horny. I'm sorry. It's like a hot album, you know. You just like you put it on. That's a bedroom album right there. All right, my next one is Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon by Pop Smoke. R.I.P. Pop Smoke. What can I say? A lot of posthumous albums for me don't hit it, and I'm guessing a lot of you can come up with names in your head of artists who have posthumous albums where they just don't hit the mark because they're either filled with features, the vision they originally or intentionally had before they passed is lost along the way, the production is too much, like, you know, they don't always hit. But Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, I know it only came out a few weeks ago because I'm shooting this in July, but it hit. It was the energy was great. It's got like the essence of Smoke when he like first started. I didn't really become like a proper follower until like last year, but he's, you know, his presence is still very felt. And for a drill artist, it's just, you wouldn't expect it, but you know, it's Smoke. What else do you expect? He's great. Alright, the next one is The Slow Rush by Tame Impala. This came out earlier in the year, but still holds. It's been a while since Currents, I think 5 years. So, you know, they had time to, I think about this. I believe one of the members, their father passed or something, which is the reason for Posthumous Forgiveness, which is one of my favorite tracks of the year so far. It just takes you into another place. The way it is constructed throughout the 6 minutes of the song is just top tip. My next one is Partymobile by Party Next Door. Partymobile, what can we say about Partymobile? In terms of tracks, it had Best Friend, the remix as well with Bad Bunny and Drake. It had PGT, which is just a hot, you know, little stripper song. Believe It, obviously with Rihanna. Another Day was also one that like hit for me. So yeah, I would say just overall was a great album. Some tracks again I would remove or possibly leave out, rearrange the track list or whatever, but overall very great. My next one is Salvador by Sega Bodega. I'm not sure how many of you know who he is, but he is just a great artist. I would have to actually bring up his Wikipedia to tell you more about him. But just in terms of the vibe of the album, it was A1. Again, You Suck, South Goes to Hollywood, just great tracks. The industrial elements to it were great. The production was very, again, sort of like Heaven to a Tortured Mind, the alternative vibe of it. It was very disjointed in production, but also managed to be cohesive and have a direction in terms of the way the songs went. So that's why I rated it so much. Alright, here's where it gets a bit sticky, right? Because obviously I've got 2 more for my top 10. Haven't really been counting after 4 or 5, but anyway. I'm gonna say number 9 would be It Is What It Is by Thundercat. Again, just smooth funk and soul. The influences from the 70s and also the just almost outer space feeling it gives is just A1. So yeah, It Is What It Is. I would say more about it, but I haven't heard it in a while, but it's still in my top 10, if that makes sense. So yeah, alright, number 10 is where it gets difficult, because I can't tell if it would be It Was Good Until It Wasn't by Kalani or Mantic by Ro James. But for sake of my top 10, I'm just gonna keep it with It Was Good Until It Wasn't by Kalani. Again, just a great album. It grew on me over time. I love Kalani. Like Sweet Sexy Savage was always on repeat. But yeah, it grew on me more. Tracks like F and Makeup was obviously just hit as a single. Water, obviously it talks about the water signs. I'm a Scorpio, so obviously I'm gonna like it.
Head like a Scorpio.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite tracks on the album was Everybody's Business, followed by Hate the Club, because Hate the Club, yeah, talk about how she shot most of her videos herself during quarantine. That is also something I have to give up to. Alright, some honorable mentions are 2 albums that came out last year, but they came out right at the end of last year, so I might shift them over to this year. Was Tinashe's Songs For You. Still replaying it to this day. You know, we just know that Tinashe is the moment. She's been the moment and she will be the moment.
Who?
Stormzy's Heavy As a Head, also a great album coming from a UK MC. Zebra Cat's Less Is More. I mean, it just gets you like hyped, and during quarantine it was kind of confusing because I was like, I'm meant to be at the club right now, you know, like going for it. So really, that is my top 10 albums of the year so far. Let me know what you think. Would you take some out? Would you put some in? And also what your top 10 is. Leave it down below. Also, I might make a top 15 at the end of the year if I'm feeling cheeky, you know. Also, this channel, haven't told you, but it will be mostly culture based, so a lot of fashion, a lot of music, anything happening in popular culture. Also talking about current events, having discussions, open discussions, because obviously I'm not here to propagate my opinion. I'm just here to say how I feel about certain things, so I've got a lot to say. So yeah, that is what's coming ahead. Please do subscribe if you feel like it. If you don't, it's cool. No hard feelings. And that's it. Deuces.